Taylor Sheridan drove Lioness's Season 2 opener at full throttle. What was a simple kidnapping plot is now concerned with preventing a global war with China. Oh, then a secret mission over the border resulted in a dozen dead cops. The Lioness team is in quite a predicament as we head into Episode 3, even though I have a sinking feeling that the craziest development is yet to come. The Taylor Sheridan series kicked off with a bang last week as Episode 1 launched Joe's team into uncharted territory. To get to Chinese intelligence, they must take down Mexican drug cartel Los Tigers from the inside. Fortunately, they think they found the right strategy for the job. Episode 2 saw the reluctant recruitment of Josefina, a U.S. soldier deployed in Iraq who is related to cartel leader Alvaro. According to her, she has no knowledge of their illegal activities. We pick up in Lioness Season 2, Episode 3 with Joe and Caitlin watching on from headquarters. A female target, presumably connected to Los Tigres, is being watched with officers gaining entry to her house under the pretenses of being a gas company. Her Spanish-speaking maid lets them in, vacating the house while they install a tracking chip that gains access to the house's CCTV. At the same time, Joe reveals her doubts about Josefina to Caitlin. Joe doesn't trust her claims of not knowing her uncle, who runs the cartel, or the fact she seemingly doesn't speak a word of Spanish. Caitlin repeats that nobody Joe comes into contact with should be trusted. Joe freaks out when she returns home and can't find anyone, confiding in husband Errol that kidnapping is a real threat when it comes to her new assignment. While Joe is home, she gets a call from Caitlin. The attack from Episode 2 has made the news, but Josefina's dismissal now official public information. Teenager Kate also walks in on Joe and Errol having sex, claiming to be traumatized. Back in the White House's Situation Room, the powers that be assemble to discuss the fallout of the news report. Edwin reports that there's a lack of awareness of what's happening, meaning there's not enough outrage for there to be a solid alibi, or at least the outrage isn't in the right places. The election isn't playing well in things either, meaning nobody can fully agree on what the response is. Josefina arrives at Bliss for training, which she isn't happy to have to do again. She's immediately hostile to Bliss and everyone in it, with the rest of the team equally hostile back. Caitlin and her husband begin buttering up politicians to try and get them on side in the wake of the Iraq cover-up. They're hesitant to approve the CIA's plans for Mexico, but after some not-so-gentle persuading from Caitlin, she's got them wrapped around her finger. At Bliss, Josefina struggles with her new routine, including how open-plan and incredibly co-ed everything is. The team starts her on drills, but Josefina's standard army training and logic goes against what she's being taught, stimulating the chaos of a real-life attack. Josefina takes her time to get comfortable with what her new duties are. Remember, she was a helicopter pilot before she was plucked from her station. She's resistant to trust the advice she's being given, but is surprised when it starts getting results. Joe arrives at Bliss to find out how Josefina is getting on, with Kyle explaining she does what she's told and can execute plans quickly. Her next part of training comes in the form of VR, being led blindly into a situation without a specific mission. She's killed during a standoff with a gunman holding a woman hostage, with Joe slamming Josefina for her techniques. Joe clarifies that her sole mission is to kill the target, and then anybody else necessary in order for survival. Lioness Season 2 Episode 3 ends with Joe pulling Josefina to one side. Joe tells her she's going back to her parents' home in Dallas as an inroad, questioning why she isn't close with her parents. She tells Kyle that Josefina clearly knows about what her father actually does, with the pair quickly antagonizing each other. In a moment of frustration, Josefina reveals she does know Spanish. She's been lying this whole time. Joe requests the team hold her in isolation until authorities arrive. Josefina claims she stayed away from her family because she doesn't want any part of their world. Joe questions whether Josefina is really committed enough to destroying everything she knows and everything she loves in the name of public safety. In response, Josefina is made to phone her dad, Pablo, who asks if everything is all right. She replies no, and the screen cuts to black.